Clean girl makeup has been trending for the last year or two, but what the hell does it mean for your makeup to be clean? When this trend was going viral, I really struggled to recreate it on my skin tone just because I have a lot of discoloration. A lot of the products that a lot of people were using did not work for me. So in the next 10 to 20 minutes, we're gonna take our makeup from this to this, and we're gonna do it in under 10 products, which is gonna be really hard for me, but we're gonna make it happen. I also thought I would make this Q&A style. Last week, I polled you guys on Instagram and YouTube to ask me some questions anonymously that you wanna know about myself. I thought we could do this get ready with me style, and I'm gonna answer some of my most commonly asked questions. So if you're new here, my name is Monica Ravi-Conway. I'm a South Asian beauty content creator, and I create brown girl friendly makeup tips, tutorials, color theory videos, even petite curvy fashion. So if this is interesting to you, give your girl a subscribe, a like, a follow. And now for some clean girl makeup. Cute little cat ears out today. Since we're only gonna be using under 10 products, I had to really mindfully pick these. Since this is gonna be like a get ready with me, and I'm also gonna be answering some questions, I thought I'd answer like a question for each step. First question I have over here is, what brought you to start making videos of you doing makeup, and when did I start doing makeup? The first product that I'm going to use is the Supergoop Glow Screen. I'm in the shade Golden Hour, and I really like this because it has SPF 40, but it also slightly evens out my skin, gives me a really pretty glow. I started doing makeup when I was 13 years old, honestly because I had really bad acne prone skin and I wanted to use makeup to kind of cover it up. I was going to school, people were making fun of me. So that's how I started to learn how to do my makeup. Was it good back then? No, but it was something, and I really enjoyed doing my makeup. How pretty is this sunscreen? It also comes in 4 different shades, which is rare to see in a tinted sunscreen. Because I have a lot of hyperpigmentation and certain parts of my face are darker or look grayer than others, I need to color correct. One of my favorite color correcting sticks is from Live Tinted. I'm gonna use this because I can also use it as a blush, and we're trying to use minimal products over here. So I'm just gonna take this and place this on the areas that I have that hyperpigmentation, just like around my mouth and definitely some underneath my eyes. I started making videos literally 3 years ago. Basically COVID hit and I was supposed to go to Paris, but going to Paris didn't happen because of COVID. So I was sent home, I was stuck in my dad's place. I had a couple months between coming back from school and starting my full-time job. And I had friends who had always like pushed me to like start posting makeup on Instagram, and TikTok was just starting to boom. So that is kind of around the time I started to do so. Did I think it was gonna lead to a career? Absolutely not. Still so shocking to me that I'm here with you right now teaching all the brown girlies how to do their makeup. Have you guys also asked me about my mental health journey? Like, did I suffer from mental health issues and kind of like how I overcame them? I'm going in with my Fenty skin tint. I love this because it's not too like greasy. Also, the shade range is obviously amazing. Riri really killed it with the shade range. It is really nice and olive, which is kind of hard to find in foundations and skin tints. Growing up, I really struggled with school, and honestly my parents were pretty hard on me for that. Like, we all know, like, Asian parents, my parents are immigrants, and I feel like that really took a toll on my mental health. I struggled a lot with anxiety and depression all through high school and college, and I had a hard time also like making friends. My parents did get divorced when I was 18. That played a really big part of my mental health journey. The biggest thing that helped me was going to therapy, which is also like a big taboo in South Asian cultures. Like, I was always really hard on myself. My parents were really hard on me, and I had to like retrain my mind. I started placing myself as like the main character instead of being like the secondary character in all of like the stories in my head. I was diagnosed with ADHD by my therapist. That also really helped me. How pretty does my skin look right now? There's a reason why this Fenty skin tint is amazing. A lot of people asked about like my relationship with Chris, like how we met, and basically like a lot of like relationship questions. So I'm just gonna give everyone the TLDR. Now I'm just gonna use a concealer because we are doing like a clean girl makeup. We don't want our makeup to look too much. I'm only gonna use a little bit of concealer, just a little bit like under my eyes. Chris, who's my current boyfriend, we are an interracial relationship. I'm South Indian and he's Caucasian. I had 3 relationships prior to Chris, and honestly, like, they were not the best. I'm gonna let my concealer marinate just so I could get a little bit of extra coverage. Definitely the most healthiest relationship. I definitely see myself getting married to Chris. I had a lot of internal confidence issues that I really needed to work on. Therefore, I always got into these relationships that never like served me. My parents are divorced, so that really affected my view on relationships. It was really hard to trust anyone. Once I was able to get past that hurdle, Chris and I have such a great relationship. He treats me super amazing. We've talked about a lot of our life goals. We've been like a year and a half, which is, that's the part that I think is so crazy. How pretty is this concealer? This is from Kulfi Beauty, and I'm in the shade Cinnamon Baby. A lot of questions about like my ethnicity, what if I am religious, where my parents are from, and like what language I speak. So I'm gonna be using that same Live Tinted color corrector as a blush, and I'm first gonna apply it on the back of my hand just to warm it up because it is a little bit more of a drier formula. I'm gonna pack the brush evenly so it gets dispersed on my cheeks a little bit more even. So I'm South Indian. Both my parents are from Bangalore, but we are at the Millions. They speak Tamil and Kannada. Me, on the other hand, I can only understand Tamil. I cannot speak it. We didn't really learn it too much growing up just because we just mostly spoke English. Parents have been in this country for almost 30 years. Being said, I love being Indian. I'm so proud of my culture. I do celebrate some of the Indian holidays. My parents always celebrated Varma Lakshmi. Really like this shade of blush if you are around my skin tone, just because orange can really look super vibrant on deeper skin tones. If you have a cool undertone, you definitely want to use something with more of a cooler undertone, like a more muted pink shade. Also on the 5th product, and I am an oily gal, so I'm gonna definitely have to use powder. My favorite powders that super natural, like this is like one of the most natural looking powders ever, and it's from Kosas. I usually just apply some with a smaller brush right under my eyes and on the areas that get really oily. So get my like nose pretty blurring. It's still really skin-like, which is something that I really like about this powder. I'm gonna use the same one product for the eyes and for contour because I am trying to limit the number of products I'm going to use. So these are the About Face Beauty Matte Fluid Eye Paints. They are mostly supposed to be used on the eyes, but I love actually using these for contour because they dry down and you don't really need to set them, which is really nice. And they have a bunch of different shades. So this is definitely a very versatile product. Same technique for the blush. Because these dry really fast, you also do have to work fast. What is your experience with racism and how did you kind of deal with that? And a ton of people kind of asked me about it. I grew up in an area with a ton of Asian people. Like it was extremely diverse. Actually, I feel like there were more people of color in the area that I grew up than there were Caucasian people. Because of that, you would think that I wouldn't experience any discrimination. Rather than racism, I actually experienced a lot of colorism because that is really prominent in the South Asian community. Because of that, I feel like growing up, I really struggled to embrace my skin tone. That's just because I had really dark skin from playing water polo. So if you have hyperpigmentation on your eyelids, you will love these About Face Beauty Matte Fluid Eye Paints because they're super pigmented. I feel like that's the perfect shade and it'll give your eyes that warmth that it might need if you have that grayness. They're completely budge proof once they dry down, and you can definitely just use your fingers. I feel like I did face a lot more racism once I went to college. So I went to Cal Poly SLO and I majored in computer science and engineering. That was a huge culture shock that I had to deal with because when I was in high school, it was very, very like South Asian prominent, East Asian prominent, and then I went to college and it was very Caucasian, like 70% Caucasian. I really struggled to kind of make friends in college, and even had a girl who refused to sign the lease with me the second year because they felt weird that she was gonna be the only white girl living with 3 Asian girls. I can't believe we've only used 6 products to do this look, and the 7th product is totally optional, but as you guys know, I am a hoe for glitters. So Urban Decay just came out with their brand new Space Brighter Moon Dust palette, and I could not recommend this more if you have a deeper skin tone because all of these glitters have a clear base, meaning it doesn't have like a background, so when it applies on the skin, it just has that really pretty iridescent sparkly effect. Really, really like how this looks on top of this brown eyeshadow, and the darker your skin is, the more this shimmer is really gonna twinkle and pop. Next question I'm going to answer is, do I have any plans on making a makeup line? Or answer is yes, and I've kind of hinted at this in some of my other videos. Can't complain about brown girl friendly makeup products and not kind of come out with a solution for it. Adding the sparkle isn't very clean girl makeup of me, but I really wanted to kind of make it a little bit more elevated, a little bit more my style, and I feel like it still looks really natural. Hack that I like to do, because I do love a little bit of eyeliner, I'm gonna take my mascara and an angled brush and kind of just dip it into the mascara. I'm just gonna use it like a regular eyeliner, but because this is, again, like a clean girl makeup, I'm only gonna take the eyeliner from like the quarter part of my eyes. I am currently working on a makeup brand. Of course, it's gonna be brown girl friendly, but I'm not trying to reinvent what's already there. Like, I love Kulfi Beauty. I love Live Tinted. Hell, I use both of them in this video itself. I actually never wanted to start a makeup brand. Like, that wasn't like my intention at first. I see a problem in the beauty space and I want to solve it. And that's kind of like how I approach even like my page. When I started creating videos, I just had a ton of people in my comment section asking me, what are your favorite products? I have discoloration. Can you help me with brown skin friendly makeup tips? And I just kind of kept replying to comments and unknowingly created this brown girl makeup community. Same way I approached creating a makeup brand. Another question that I get asked is, if I weren't an influencer, what would have been my current job? I actually worked in the tech industry for 3 years. I got a bachelor's in computer science and engineering from Cal Poly SLO. Class of 2020, go Mustangs. I wasn't an influencer. I would currently still be doing my tech job. I was a software engineer for 2 years at Twilio, and then I made my way into product management. I was a product manager for an influencer marketing company. And if I wasn't an influencer, I probably would be doing what I was doing for 3 years, because I honestly really liked it. Last 2 products I'm gonna use are the Tower 28 lip liner. I love this because it's a very good neutral brown shade for deeper skin tones. And I'm gonna use that same multi-use hue stick we used for as a color corrector and as blush. If you have brown lips and use an orange-ish product like this, it can actually cancel out that discoloration. So give your lips a little bit of warmth, since hyperpigmentation tends to be a little bit gray. I actually am gonna add this Rare Beauty tinted lip oil. This is because it has that orangey stain, but it's also a little bit hydrating. I feel like in all of the clean girl hair videos, everyone slicks their hair back. I never understood why curly hair is not considered clean, so I'm just gonna leave it because I think curly hair is clean. This is the final look. I know this video was a little bit more unconventional and different than my last very in-depth educational makeup tutorial, but I still hope you guys enjoyed it. If this helped you in any ways, be sure to subscribe, like this video, drop a comment, and thank you guys so much for the support. I genuinely really appreciate it.